I've been playing Star Stable since around 2018. I got into the dressage community in quarantine. I think a lot of people did that just because we didn't really have anything to do. Um, I'm not on Star Stable very much around like club practices and stuff, but if I am, you can normally spot me pretty easily by my bright pink outfits. I am in the club Gold Hearts, which is my favorite club ever. I love them so much. Anyway, I have had a bit of experience on staff teams, but this is like the Dressage Network is like my first chance of creating my own server, so I'm so excited to just like getting it public and introducing new and exciting things like this podcast. So yeah, I'm just so excited. So thank you all for coming, and I'll pass it off to Sharky or Storm. If you guys want to introduce yourself, then yeah.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first, Storm?
You got it.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Sharky. I am currently a sophomore in college. It's my second year. I'm not studying anything specific at this moment, but I hope to go into a rad tech program so I can be an MRI tech in the future. Um, I'm chronically online. Unfortunately, I am one of those people. I've been playing Star Stable since 2019, I think. The club before Wild Leopards was my first ever dressage club, and then Storm and I decided to make Wild Leopards together, and this is the first ever like official club that I've ever owned. It's been like such a new experience, so many learning experiences. We've made mistakes, had to fix things, but we've come like a long way since our start, and I really love my club, Storm, and all the rest of the members so much. So that's me.
Okay, my name is Storm. I am a senior in high school. And I do running start, so I'm taking college classes right now, and I do varsity volleyball. And I want to go into dental hygiene, but that's gonna be a little because I have to finish my prereqs. But anyways, I started playing Star Stable probably like, oh my gosh, like 2017, 2018. And I've been instructing dressage like since 2020. So a long time. And I've owned a couple previous clubs. Yeah, the club me and Sharky were in before I was a leader. I didn't own it, but I mean, you know, I did quite a bit. But I think this is like the only like real club I've ever owned too. So, and it's been great. I love, and I think it's helpful um like being in a club before, just like being a leader, just to see like what you want to do differently. So that was really nice. But yeah, that's me.
Okay, awesome. I think we're gonna get started on the questions. So, the first question is, I don't really know who is gonna be answering them. Either of you can answer them. It's up to you. But the first question is, how did you get people to apply? Like, how do you get people to apply to your club in your experience and in your knowledge?
All right. I will be the one taking on this question. We kind of like split the questions up between us. Um, so I think, as Storm mentioned, a lot of our experience comes from the fact that we were both previously leaders in a different club. And so I think like the main thing to get people to apply is advertising, like getting people interested in your club. And there's the saying of like never judge a book by its cover, but imagine your club is the book. The cover is the first thing that people are going to see. So I think if you make your cover look really, really appealing to other people, they'll be more inclined to want to learn more about your club. And I also think that when you do get people into your open server, being friendly with them, interacting with them every single day, and even giving like more inside looks to what your club looks like will help people be more interested in your club. And so if you like have a media channel where you post clips of your practice or of, pictures of your club hanging out, people will be like, "Oh, hey, that looks really, really fun. They're doing really fun stuff. I kind of want to apply to that club." So just giving people more of an insider look on what goes on in your club, and again, advertising, making sure you have like a theme, you're organized. Obviously, Wild Leopard's theme is leopards. And Safari, our open server is called the Open Safari instead of like open server. And we have like our color, which is purple, and so we basically revolve everything around the color purple. And just doing that has helped make people more interested in wanting to learn more about us. So I think that's kind of like the main way that we got people to apply.
Cool, awesome. That's a really, yeah, I agree with what you said. Advertising is like the number one thing. Um, it's like your advertisement is literally the first thing that people see, and people are, they make up their minds in like milliseconds, like if they like your club or if they don't like your club. So that's really important, and I agree. All right, so next question. How have you guys grown so quickly? This is like hand in hand with the previous question, but how have you guys grown so quickly?
So this one kind of also ties back into what Storm was saying about being in a previous club. And in that club, we were both leaders, as I mentioned, and that club had done collabs with other clubs. And we became like really, really good friends with the leaders and owners of those other clubs. So when we decided to step back and make our own club, we had a bunch of support from some of our friends from other bigger clubs, and they were willing to help put our name out there, and they were also willing to even partner with us right away because of the fact that we were so close. So if you want to call it connections, you can call it connections, but I think reaching out to other people, even asking for help or just trying to make friends with other club owners, club leaders is a really, really good way to get your name out there. Um, Also, promoting. Promoting is so, so important, especially if you have like a really cute promotion. Storm worked very, very hard on promoting. You could go into almost any open server and go to promote, and she had already promoted. Like she was on top of that when we first became a club, and I think that that is a really big reason as to why we grew so quickly, but also because of the friends who helped us along the way and were willing to partner with us and even tell their members with us, do collabs with us. We owe a lot to them. That is the main way we got so big quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's really good. Thank you. All right. So the next question is, what channel should I add in my club server? Like in the open server and kind of also in like the private server. Yeah.
Okay, so I when I was like looking at this question, I'm like, should I list all of the channels? But I'll just kind of like try to shorten it down. I think obviously you should have the main first channel is like a welcoming area for people who first join your open server. So you have welcome, which is I would really, really recommend to learn like how to use the different bots on Discord because they can be so helpful. Before owning wild leopards, I had no idea how to use any of the bots, but they actually help so, so much. So I really recommend it. But anyways, you should have welcome, roles, general, announcements, rules, info, everything like that. Um, I think those are kind of like the basics, but I think it's also important to include some channels that can help other people feel more connected to you. For an example, we have a channel called Spot a Leopard, and it's basically like if anyone sees us, roaming around Star Stable, they can just take a quick pic, send it in Spot a Leopard, and then add us. And it's actually a way that we've met a few new people and made some friendships because they will constantly ping us over and over again because for some reason we're just always on at the same time. And I think that just kind of helps like other people be able to grow a little bit closer to you. Um and I also think it's important to showcase what your club is within your open server because if people don't know what to expect from your club, they're not going to want to join or not really want to associate with it because they don't know about it. So the ways that you can do that is to have a uniform channel, show what your uniform looks like, what your club horse is like. You can have a clips channel where for us, we post our dressage practice clips and you can just show like, hey, this is what our dressage practice looks like. And this is kind of what we do and how it works. And we also have a media. So if there's any like pictures that we take, we can send it there. And we also have a roster. So we post who is on in our club. So if someone sees a name that they are familiar with, like, oh, hey, I know that person, maybe I can ask them about the club. Maybe I can check in and see how they like the club. And that might make them more inclined to want to join us. So I think servers like that are really, really important to have within your open server. As far as the closed server, I think you can be a little bit more lenient with what you have. Honestly, we kind of form ours to like what the people in our club like. So for an example, we have a few people in our club, me included, who like K-pop. So we just have like a random K-pop server where we literally just talk about K-pop. And I feel like if you have some servers like that, it's it's super. I see you, Azzy, in the chat. It's super nice to just have like spaces for people to talk about their interests and stuff. And also, I feel like it's really important, both in the open and closed server, to have an info. The chat is cracking me up. An info and an expectations. So in our closed server, we have an expectations channel, which is basically where we just set the expectations for our members, what we expect from them, both in and outside of practice. One last thing is I feel like it's very, very important to just be organized with everything. There are so many channels that you could add. It could be like endless. You could add whatever you want. But when someone's joining an open server for the first time, they have, they go through the same process of signing in, checking the rules, um, doing like all that. And then if they're really interested, they might want to scroll through your server a little bit more and learn more about you. But if you have this endless amount of channels, people might not want to look at them all and they might miss important stuff. So, sorry, we try to keep our channels kind of to the minimum. So, for an example, if we have like, let's say you want to have a channel for like Minecraft, Roblox, Overwatch, Red Dead Redemption, like all four of those separately. We try to combine it into one channel that's called gaming. So it's not so much to look at. And we think that like organization and minimalizing it has helped a lot with just, again, keeping things organized for not only us, but for the people who join our servers.
Yeah, I also love K-pop. I recently just got into it, and I think that's such a great idea. All right. So one of the other questions that we have for you, what things should we post on Instagram? So what do you recommend? Any like new or maybe old clubs or teams that haven't really gotten very much attention on Instagram? What do you suggest they should post on Instagram?
Okay, I'll take this one because I manage Instagram and I love all things Instagram. I love Instagram. I would say you need to post something that like correlates to your club, which I just feel like is common sense. But it is true because like what you post is what you're trying to attract. Like if you post dressage pictures, that means you're trying to like attract people who like dressage. So but you also can post, like, hanging out, cause that also does reflect our club too, like, we just made a post, like, we were at the beach, just, like, all hanging out, which is part of our club, like, we do dressage, but we also, like, have fun and, like, have our little hangouts, but I think you also need I personally think editors really help, I do most of the edits, but I think it makes it look really organized, professional. But even if you don't have an editor, just like get a good shader because it just if your entire Instagram page has like the same shader on every single one, it looks way more organized than if it was just a bunch of random pictures, I would say. And posting on stories for stories, I would post we sometimes post like clips of our practice to show people like what it's like inside, kind of like inviting them in to take a look and if they're like, "Oh my gosh, like that looks so good," like it's gonna make more interested in joining. Um and yeah, I would say Yeah, I can't talk about the Sharky, but I would say just definitely just keep it organized and keep the posts, like, minimal, like, don't do a whole photo dump. Um, I would do, like, 1 or 2.
Oopsies, I might have cut out or something. Um, the next question I'm gonna ask you guys is, yeah, I think my internet also tweaked out a little bit. What requirements do you guys have to join your club or apply to your club?
Okay,
Okay,
so
okay, you're
oh,
there, okay.
you want
I
you
was
want
wondering where you were. Okay, you go.
Okay, okay. I think for requirements, we do have like our set requirements. So, for SSO level, we require the person to at least be level 16. We think it's important to have an SSO level requirement because if we do events in certain areas, let's say like Redwood, for an example, low level people won't have that unlocked yet. So if you have a level requirement, it just kind of makes it so that all of your members have all of the map unlocked so you can do events wherever without having people left out. Um, we do have an age requirement, but we prefer not to say it because we've experienced people lying about their age on their application. So obviously, you have to be 13 to be on Discord. It is higher than 13, but again, we just don't like to say it because we want to stay away from people lying on their applications. As far as dressage experience goes, we are a very dressage centered club, but we do teach from beginner to elite. So we only require like the basic dressage knowledge level. So as long as you know what like a curl over is, like that's you're good to go because we teach from beginner to elite. So even if you start like at the bottom, we will teach you all the way up to elite. And I think some of the best students come from your own teaching. Um yeah, even though we do have these requirements, we really urge people to apply even if they don't make the requirements because we have made exceptions before and we will most likely continue to make exceptions, especially when it comes to age. Even though we do have like an age that we want people to be, if we really, really like your application, we will probably accept it regardless of your age as long as you're honest. So yeah, I think that's it for requirements. And again, they don't we prefer them to be met, like all of them, but if you don't 100% meet them, we still like people to apply.
That's really cool. Awesome. Okay. How do I find high ranks for my club or for my team?
Okay, I'm hoping you're talking about, like, are you talking about, like, leaders and, like,
Yeah,
instructors?
talking about
Okay,
like
okay.
leaders and like instructors and stuff like that.
Okay, okay, just wanna make sure. I say you have to wait. I mean, like, I think this kinda goes off of, like, what Sharky said, like, I think your best students are the ones, like, you teach, and I know, like, yeah, you really just have to, like, wait, and not everyone's cut out to be a high rank, like, I know we just, like we you can kinda tell early on if they're gonna be, like, a high rank in most cases. I can't speak for every case because 'cause we've had a couple cases. But, I would say don't rush it too, cause it's something, like, special, like, you don't wanna rush it, you wanna wait for them to get to where they need to be. Like, for us, most of our high rank requirements are you have to be, elite, um, and that's good cause that also gives us way more time to get to know them. Cause I wouldn't wanna just right off the bat just be like, "Oh, you're an instructor," you know? Like, I have to get to know them, and I have to know that, like, they're gonna be good. And it also helps you have to, like, tell them. It helps, like, telling them, like, maybe sending out, like, an announcement in your closed server, um, like, "Hey, like, we are looking for instructors right now, like, just, like, DM me if you're interested," or something like that. But I personally, I wouldn't have, like, actual applications for instructors or leaders just because with those high ranks, you really need to know them, actually, like, you need to trust them, and because 'cause you're, like, letting them be responsible for your club. I personally wouldn't have applications for those because of I just need to trust them a lot. Um, but yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, totally. I've seen clubs that like open applications for like high ranks the week after trials are accepted, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't personally do that, but it works for some clubs, maybe not others. Um, anyway, no one is joining our Discord server. What should our advertisement look like? What should we change about it?
Okay, I'm really good at this because as Sharky said, I love I love promoing.
Oh, she
You have
does.
you have to, I mean, like, you have to have a theme. Like, so our theme obviously is leopards, but we also have a color theme. I think it's good to have a color theme and an actual theme. So you can make it visually pleasing off of those. So whether that's the self promo being like purple and like purple emojis in it and just organizing it off your theme, like our like Sharky said, it's like open safari, like it just all like matches our theme. Um and at least, like, you're gonna have to self-promo. For Discord servers especially, like, you're gonna have to join a ton of servers. Cause honestly, that's the main way you get it. Cause like, you can do it off of Instagram, but you're not gonna get as many, like, you need to do self-promo. Um, and you have to have something that catches people's eye. I like to put, like, a pretty picture of, like, purple flowers, just cause it, like, it catches people's eye, it's pretty, um, and they see the rest of the purple in the self-promo, and it just looks really nice. I'd also put a little info. I have a little info about your club in the little self promo thing. Just like saying like, oh, like I'm a dressage team. We teach beginner to elite. We're based in Hazy Galaxy, whatever. You know, just a tiny summary. I wouldn't go too crazy, but just enough like it's easy to read. And then I would also say what we offer in our server. So like self promo, um, like whatever you have. I can't think of everything right now, but yeah, just like have a what we offer, your theme, just make it look good. But I literally, I wouldn't say I have any other way than self-promoting. Like you can do it off Instagram, but self-promoting or advertising in game. I don't do as much with our new club, like Wild Leopards. I did a lot with our old club, and I think I found the most like valuable members off of ones out of like self promo in Discord. Um, I don't know why, but like I just noticed a lot of people who when we were advertising in game, and they were joining our Discord server would leave. So yeah, I don't know why that is, but that's just what I've noticed. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, sorry about that. My sister just came in. Okay, think I think that was the last question. So if anybody in the audience has any questions for you guys, then feel free to put them in the chat and we can get to them. If they don't have any questions, then that'll be that. And I'm pretty sure Vesper was able to record it. So yeah, we'll definitely be able to post that up.
That's so cute. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
How do you work through competitions? We have not. So we're in the process of building our comp team right now because the way we kind of did it is like our trials have to start at beginner and then they take like a rank up test to decide their rank, but we don't let like fresh leopards, so like their trial just ended, be in comp team. So we're in the process of making a comp team. I think we have 4 people so far. Um, And I personally have never entered a competition, but I think Storm has. Maybe Storm probably has a little bit more info on that than me.
Um, I've never done like an actual like competition. Like I've done recording competitions. I couldn't tell you like actual like ones where you meet. I've done recording ones, and honestly, it's a lot of work because it's a lot of work. But I can't speak personally off like actual in-game ones, just recording ones. So yeah.
Competitions are tough. When you record that, it's like if someone does like one wrong move, you gotta restart the video.
Yeah, totally. It's so insane to like do a routine. And some routines are like so long. Like I can't imagine having to do an 8-minute routine.
Bro, oh my gosh. It's so fun. Like it's so fun seeing the end product, but while you're doing it, it's like, oh my god, what's the next move? What do I gotta do? What does this next go for? Like stuff like that. And it's a lot. But
Literally,
it's all worth it in
I'm
the end.
mhm, for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna get the recording posted soon, and I think that'll be the end of this. So thank you guys so much for doing this. This was so cool. I have learned a lot about
Course,
Wild Wizards,
Thank
and
you.
yeah.
thank you so much for having us. This was awesome. This was like kind of our first big event as a club. I was like, oh my god, we got invited to a podcast. Like, this is insane. So thank you so much for having us and letting us talk about ourselves a
Of
Yeah,
little bit.
course,
thank
this was so
you.
exciting.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.